Alright, what's up everybody? Starting a little bit earlier than 3:30 because I have somewhere to be soon, so we're gonna just knock this out real quick. Hope you guys did well in the truck series. I did not. Hate to see it. We'll move on. Hopefully we'll do a little bit better in the Xfinity series here. The thing I learned from that race was maybe stacking the back in tournaments probably wasn't the most optimal thing. So I would try to make sure that you're not just playing guys straight from the back. That race wasn't as much of a disaster as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, it wasn't pouring rain the whole time, which was kind of what I expected. And honestly, the truckers just didn't wreck. Maybe that track's not as hard as I was kind of expecting it to be. I don't know. But the process was incorrect, so we learned. I want to play guys starting up towards the front a little bit more. Make sure to ask some questions you have down in the comments below. Leave a like, and we're gonna just go through and talk about what each driver needs to do to pay off their salary. Kyle Busch is first. Starting on the pole, I expect him to be popular. He's $10,800. He needs to lead laps and finish high to pay off his salary. Look, I mean, especially if the rain not pouring down anymore, I mean, I just kind of expect that from him. I mean, he should win this race. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. So, yeah, probably just going to lock in Kyle Busch here. Maybe not go like 100% ownership like we usually do in the truck series, but still going to really like Kyle here. Austin Cindric's going to have to do the same thing. He's going to have to get up front and lead some laps to pay off that salary. I just have a hard time seeing him do it. I just kind of want to play Kyle Busch, and none of these other guys need to lead laps. AJ Allmendinger another one who does need to lead laps to do well. I'm just not all that interested because I just think Kyle Busch is going to be the one to do it. Same thing with Justin Allgaier. Kevin Harvick's the first guy we see here that doesn't need to lead laps. He needs to get a top 2 finish. I think it's possible, but the equipment here is not great. But we all know Kevin Harvick is, an amazing NASCAR driver, so I could totally see him doing well. So I am going to have some sort of interest in Kevin Harvick. I like Noah Gragson here. He needs a top 7 to pay off his salary. He's always been a very good road course driver. I know we saw he was struggling a little bit in qualifying, but it's not pouring down rain anymore like it was, so I think he should do a lot better. I think Noah has probably has a pretty solid race here, so I'm going to be interested there. Daniel Hemrick has to go to the back, but he already starts there anyway, so not too worried about that. Starting 26 needs a top 10 to pay off the salary. He can definitely do that. We know what Daniel Hemrick does. He was fast in practice yesterday, so I like him. Ray says, "Hey bro, what's up? I enjoyed that race. I won $10 on a $3 single entry. Not so bad. Deegan was a good pick. Thank you. Yeah, Deegan was a great pick. She did really well. She's a good road course driver, so not too surprised there. That's awesome that you did well. Did a lot better than I did, so good for you. Congratulations." Harrison Burton. He needs a top 3 to pay off the salary. I mean, it could happen, but there's a lot of talent in this field, so I'm not really too excited there. Justin Haley and Cole Custer both need to lead laps and finish up high. I'm just not going to be too interested there. I don't think Custer's equipment's good enough to really get out front. I don't like Custer's not as good of a driver as Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch is in a much better car, so I think he gets out front. I don't think Cole Custer does. Same thing with Justin Haley. Brandon Jones, starting 19th, is going to need a top 9 to pay off that salary. I do think that is possible for him, although we've seen Brandon Jones struggle big time at road course in the past, so can understand not wanting to get there. Tyler Reddick starting 5th in the Jordan Anderson car. He needs a top 2, I think, top 3 to pay off. He needs top 3 to pay off his salary. It's possible. We know Reddick's talented, but that's just not something I'm really gonna be too interested in. Andy Lally was on TV a lot during the truck race, and I thought he was actually really, really good. Really enjoyed listening to him talk. Was probably the best announcer they've had all year, like the guest guys. Really liked hearing him. Needs a top 7 to pay off his salary. He's in a good car. Really like Andy Lally here. I think he can compete for the win. We've seen him drive in the Xfinity Series a lot last year in the road courses, and this is the best car he's been in. This is actually This is the same team that Brett Moffitt drives for. We've seen Reddick do well in this car, so I really like Andy Lally here. Top 7 should definitely happen for him as long as he doesn't wreck. Has a lot of experience at this track. Great road racer, so gonna really like Andy Lally. Miguel Paludo needs top 9. He's another road course guy in a junior motorsports car. As long as he keeps it clean, he should be able to finish top 9 as well. So I do like Miguel Paludo. I think that looks like a good play. Jeb Burton needs a top 7 to pay off that salary, starting 10th. I don't have a lot of faith in him doing well at this road course, but it is possible to see him do well, so not going to be too high on Jeb. Alex LeBay starts 4th. He's going to need to hang around the top 4. Now, LeBay has done really well at road course in the past. We've seen him compete for wins, but you're still just asking a lot from that equipment in a non-rain race, which is what it's looking like. It's not going to be pouring rain for him to do really well, so LeBay not going to be too interested there. Austin Dillon driving a 77 car for Bassett Racing. He's going to need a top 11 to pay off the salary, and I think it's possible. But Dillon's never been a good road course driver. Like, he's never finished inside the top 15 ever in Cup Series. So you give him, bad equipment in the Xfinity Series, I don't really expect him to do much. So not going to be too interested there. Michael Annett starting 35th, I think is going to be chalky. He needs a top 20 to pay off his salary. Annette's not good at road courses though, and I mean that was really evident this morning in practice. Although I will say it was raining. Qualifying. I wouldn't take too much away from that. I'd much rather go to Herbst. I do like Annette though. If you're playing cash, just lock in Michael Annette. Riley Herbst though, really good road course driver. We've seen him run very well at these tracks in the past. He's going to need a top 18 to pay off his salary. We know the equipment he's in. These are the types of tracks where we do see Herbst actually do decently well. He might still wreck, but he should be running well before that at least. And if he can just avoid the trouble, I think he'll be a good play. So I'm going to like Riley Herbst here. Ryan Sieg starting, where does he start? 34th, needs a top 20 to pay off the salary. He's not a good road course driver. I mean, it can happen, but not going to be too excited here. Really like Jeremy Clements. Jeremy Clements, one career win came at Road America, so he knows what he's doing on these road courses. We've seen him run well here before. He is going to need a top 20 to pay off his salary. I feel like Jeremy Clements gets a top 20 way before Ryan Sieg does, so I'm going to really like Jeremy Clements here in all formats. Probably my favorite play in this range, to be honest. I don't know. I like Herbst more. Herbst is my favorite play out of those four guys, starting really far in the back, but then it'd probably be Clements. Jade Buford, starting 18th, he is going to need a top 13 to pay off the salary. I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't expect it. Mike Snyder needs a top 16. You're asking a lot out of a guy who's never really shown any success at road courses at all, so not going to be too excited there. Or at least in that, actually has a lot of success at road courses in other series, but in NASCAR he's been bad. Landon Castle needs a top 20. If he can keep the car in one piece, I think that's going to be a good play. Boris said not going to be too interested in here. I mean, we all know he's a great road course driver, needs a top 17, but that 13 car sucks, so not going to be too interested in that. I don't want to bank on that getting a top 17. Spencer Pumpelly, I think that's how you say his name, needs a top 13. He's in a 6 car for JD Motorsports. Same thing as said. I mean, he's a good road course driver, but that car is just not that good. Preston Pardis needs a top 16 to pay it off. I think that's possible. I do like Preston here. That looks like someone who could be a good tournament and cash play. We've seen he almost won, I think, Road America last year. I don't know, one of those road course races, he almost won it. So really like Pardis. Brandon Brown only needs a top 13. This is too cheap for Brandon Brown, although we've never seen him be a great road racer. But I mean, he should get a top 13 if he just has a clean race. Greg Alding's equipment sucks. He needs a top 24 to pay off his salary. I just don't see it. Ryan Ellis needs top 22. Don't really see it in BJ McLeod car. I like Brett Moffitt as a good cheap play. Now, I don't think you need to go down this cheap today, but if you do, Moffitt and Chris Wright would be the two I'd like the most. Moffitt in the Our Motorsports car and Chris Wright in the Sam Hunt car. Brett Moffitt needs top 17. We've seen him do well at road course in the Truck Series, so I like that. And then Chris Wright needs a top 27. Like, he starts dead last. He doesn't need to move up a lot. If he can just keep the car clean, I think that's a good punt play. And otherwise, Howard, Hill, Martins, I mean, they're all decent, but not too much to be expected from them. So that's just a quick little rundown. Go ahead and ask me some questions in here. Get your questions in here about this race today. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Really helps me out. So, yeah, what you guys got for me? And how'd the truck race go? I hope the truck race went good for Ray. It didn't go well for me. Too much, 100% Tanner Gray and Paul Menard was not a good idea. I don't know what I was thinking. Oof. Brandon Finger was a really good play. Yeah. It's alright, I didn't play a lot, so who cares? Ooh, my golf lineups just moved up a lot. Who scored? So Zalatoris. Zalatoris balling. Zalatoris 2 under, baby. We made that bet. We need him to clutch it out. Alright, any questions? Let me go look at the golf standings. And I want to see what score the Bucks Heat game is. Bucks are up 3. And men's golf. Favorite plays? Kyle Busch. Then I would say I really like Andy Lally. Riley Herbst. Those are probably my favorite plays. Yeah, those guys. Honestly, I like Noah Gragson. I don't think anyone's going to play him, but I think he's going to do well. Any other questions? Oh, and Bryson's 2 under. Let's go. Will Zalatoris is 3 under today through 12. He just didn't do terrible yesterday, man. Let's go. Bryson 1 under through 9. I'm liking this. Giving myself an opportunity to hit some bets on. Wow. Phil's 7 under now. It's crazy. Hey, man, thanks for the info. Won 352 on truck. Hey, man, awesome. That's great. Good job. It's a great win. Great day. Any more questions or comments? I enjoyed the road racing. First time watching a road course different. I can see how it takes skills. Yeah, it's a lot different. It's a completely different style of racing. That was a good race. There's been better. It was a good race, though. I wish it was close finished. When they're close finishes at those, like the end of stage 1, like if it's the end of the race like that, that's awesome. But it was just the end of stage 1, so I wish we could have seen Kaz Gralla and Todd Gilliland go at it again, but they didn't get to. But yeah, it was still a good race. Hopefully this one will be a little better, although I'm not going to watch this race at all. I'm going to literally finish this, go take a shower, and leave. So. I mean, I honestly just expect Kyle Busch to run away with this. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, it'd be one thing if Kyle Busch wasn't a good road racer. Like, I think Cindric and Allmendinger might be able to keep up with him, but, like, I think those guys might be able to do well, but we'll see. Hey, Nate, good calls on a truck race. Up 50% my bet. That's great. Good to hear. Oh. 2, 3 stack. I don't know what that means. 23 stack. And 23 card today is Lally. Harvick a good play? I mean, yeah, because it's Kevin Harvick. It's just he's expensive, man. The equipment he's in is just not even close to as good as the other cars around him. He looked decent in practice this morning, or in qualifying this morning, but in practice he wasn't that fast. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if we see Kevin Harvick contending for a win, but I just like all the guys around him more. Like, I mean, well, I don't really like Allgaier that much, but I like Cindric, Allmendinger, Gragson more. What about Harrison Burton? Like, he's fine. He needs a top 3 to pay off the salary. In a normal race, I would say yeah, but, I mean, Harrison Burton's never been fantastic on these road course races, and this is a talented field. Like, you know, obviously Cindric and Allmendinger, but you also got Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, Andy Lally. Like, there's a lot of good drivers in this field, so a top 3, well, it's possible. From a driver who we haven't seen being great at road courses, I'm not really expecting much from him. 2 guys in the top 15 and the rest after 20. Yeah, I don't know. That was my strategy last race, but the race, the winning lineup in all the lineups that were like the top ones in my GPP. They had like more guys starting towards the front. Because, I mean, I expected that race to be a lot of crashes, and there wasn't. So, I mean, the Xfinity drivers are better than the truck guys, so I don't expect there to be a ton of wrecks in this race. So, I don't think you need to just, like, if you're playing 2 guys in the top 15, like, I'd probably lower that more to, like, 2 in the top 10, to be honest. Just because I think there's just a lot of talent up there. A lot of guys who can finish in position without a lot of laps is going to be important. Who is Lally? I have a lot of him. He's a, like, what's that, supercar racer or whatever? I don't know. It's something like that. But his series he raced in is like a road course, track. Those are the tracks they raced at. He also raced in NASCAR for a little bit. Every time he's come in these series, he always runs well. And it's never been in, like, top-tier equipment. So, I mean, he ran top 5 at Road America last year. Almost won, I think. I think he finished 3rd. I would love to see Andy Lally win. If he won today, I think that'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to see. But yeah, he's really good. Like, out of all the road course guys that are coming in this race, just as road course drivers, he's probably the best one. He's definitely the best car. It's either him or Boris said, and Lally's in much better equipment than Boris said is. Moffitt or Wright in a vacuum? Moffitt. I just have more faith in him as a driver. Chris Wright kind of sucks. He just doesn't need to do a lot, so it's like, as long as he's just not complete trash, he should pay it off. But I think Moffitt probably scores more points. What do you think of playing a Busch and Gragson and fill out the other 4 with mid-teen, early 20s starting spots in the high 6K, mid 7K range? Thank you, and always love your comment. Yeah, I really like that. I actually, that's probably what I'm kind of doing a lot, really similar, is having like Busch and either a Gragson or a Hemrick, someone like that, and then yeah, filling out with those like early 20 starting spot guys. And I mean, I would probably say to put one or two guys starting back because like Haley Deegan started back and she still ended up there. Like there'll probably be one or two guys starting far back. So I wouldn't just say only like mid tier guys. I mean, I don't think that's a bad strategy, but I'd probably want to throw in at least one of the guys starting farther back. But I do like that strategy. I wonder how Kyle Busch is going to be. I mean, I was looking at this morning, like this morning when I was doing my, um, like figuring out what each driver needs to do to pay it off. I was looking at Kyle Busch and he needs like 20 laps led and like 10 fast laps just to pay off that salary. And I was like, that sounds like a lot. But then I saw this race and I mean the truck race, and I don't really have any worries about Kyle Busch just dominating the whole thing. So who to cores? Busch. Depends what you're going for. If you're going for tournament, I would go like Lally. I would go like Busch, Lally, and then like Herbst. And then if it's cash, I'd probably say like Busch, all those guys starting in 30s, like Herbst and that. And then at Herbst, I go Riley Herbst. He's a better road course driver. Any other questions? Yeah, Phil Mickelson off to a hot start. Dude's balling. Need to eat something. I literally haven't eaten any food today. Been up since 8. Any other questions? Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Like the video. If you're new, subscribe. I'm actually surprised the amount of viewers. I thought I was going to get like 5 people in here. I really didn't think people would come for this one. But I was wrong. Good to see. Very, very good to see. Any other questions? If I don't get any questions, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you guys have some luck on this race. I mean, actually, I need to go make... I'm only playing one line. I'm only just doing a single entry for this race. So I need to go finish this lineup. Because I had all guys starting in the back, but... I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to play as much money. It's just how it is. Anyone falling to the back? Daniel Hemrick is starting in the rear, but he already starts in the back, so not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. Yeah, we're not playing Michael and Ned. Okay, let's just redo this whole lineup. Busch, Hemrick, Brandon Jones, Lally, Clements, and Moffitt, single entry. What do you think? I don't really like Brandon Jones. He's never been good at these road courses, but I don't hate, like, he's a safe play because he starts 19th. Like, I think he should be able to get top 10. He's fine. If you want to play Brandon Jones, that's fine. Not my favorite play, but I don't hate it at all. The rest of it I really like. All right. Kyle Busch, boom. Ned or Herbst? Riley Herbst. Much better road course driver. Go Riley Herbst all day. Any more questions? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all things, you know, the vibes. Let's see. Oh, let me go plug Andy Lally. Any more questions? Any more questions? I like that lineup. Cool. Gragson or Harvick? No, Gragson. I'd choose Gragson. Gragson should have a good run today. He should. I mean, if it wasn't Kyle Busch in here, I'd say he'd compete for a win, because he always is at these road courses, except for Daytona Road Course where his car wouldn't get started and he went like 3 laps down. But other than that, he's always competed at these road course races, so he should. I mean, I feel like he definitely is a top 5 driver in this race. I mean, he's in, probably the best car in the series. Well, I think the Penske car is probably the best car. Then the Junior Motorsports. All right, we don't get any more questions in the next minute. Oh, here we go. Never mind. How much exposure do you recommend for AJ? He's my favorite driver, so I always feel like I'm too overweight on him every week. Yeah, I know that feeling. Uh, I like AJ. I think he's probably the second most likely dominator in this race. It's just Kyle Busch is in the race. He needs to lead laps. Like, he's going to have to lead laps and finish up high to pay off that salary. So it just depends how you feel the race is going to go. Like, I honestly feel like Kyle Busch is going to lead at least 30 laps and maybe even more and just dominate this race. And, I mean, I could be wrong, but, I mean, you know, he's on the pole. He ran the fastest lap, so he's on the pole. He's the best driver, you know, in a fantastic car. So I think AJ's an interesting, like, leverage play, but I don't feel like you need to have a lot of exposure to him. I don't think he's going to be too highly owned. Most of the ownership's going to Kyle Busch at the top today. And then Cindric and Allmendinger will get a little bit. So you don't need a lot. Yeah, I know that feeling, though, of being too overweight on your favorite drivers every week. It's not fun. Why no love for Matt Myatt Snyder? He's not that good. I mean, that's pretty much it. He's just not good. I mean, that number 2 car is so much better than him. He needs top 16. I mean, he can pay it off, but he just always seems to have some sort of issue. Like, he's going to overdrive corners today. Like, that's what he's going to do. He's just going to mess up. I can see it. If you want to play him, I don't think he's a bad play. It's just not my favorite. He's definitely, like, in the best equipment in those salary range, but, like, he's not even close to the most talented driver down there. I just don't get why he's in that car. Should have been Kaz Grala in the 2 this year. 100% should have been Kaz Grala. Pick a driver over him. Well, Jeremy Clements for sure. I don't know, what's their salary difference? It's not that much, right? Yeah, I $200 more for Jeremy Clements. That's where I'd like to go. And then if I were to go below him, probably Preston Pardus, 6,300. Oh, pick a driver over him. I'll bet you, like in DFS points or real points or like real time finish. But I'll just pick Kyle Busch. I mean, I'll take Jeremy Clements and Draftkings points too. Bet. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. DFS points. Can I choose Jeremy Clements? I'm going to go Jeremy Clements. I mean, in the salary range, no one likes Kyle Busch. I love Kyle Busch. I was happy when he won. I think he's going to win tomorrow. He was booed at Dover. He's booed everywhere. I always like the drivers, not as many people like. I like Kyle Busch. I like Joey Logano. Busch, Gregson, Sieg, Lally, Herbst, Clements for main lineup. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Any more questions? I hope the line at wherever I go to eat isn't long. Probably McDonald's or Cookout. I'm starving. No food in this house. Alright, guys. Well, looks like we're not getting any more questions. So thanks for joining. 2 streams today. Thanks for joining both. It means a lot. Make sure to like. If you're new, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter if you want. You can ask me questions over there if I didn't get to them. I'll still be active on my phone for sure for the next, little bit. I mean, the race starts in like 30 minutes. So have a great rest of your weekend. Or I'll see you tomorrow. I mean, I'm doing this tomorrow like 12:30 for Cup. Maybe 1. We'll see. Depends how hungover I am. So, yeah. Good luck today. Thanks for watching.